I'm going to talk about the use of period. The use of period, it is really easy. But firstly, I will show you what is a period. What is a period? A period is a small dot-shaped punctuation mark that is used at the end of any sentence that is intended to make a statement. Almost, you need to keep in mind that the period should be placed directly behind the last letter of the last word of the sentence. The use of period, it is really easy, and sometimes we can feel a little bit confused about it, but we need to keep in mind that when we have in a complete sentence, we can use a period and start in a new sentence. And in English, we have different kinds of sentences, but it is interesting to learning about it. I can show you when you can use the period in this case. When we use periods, we use periods in sentences that make a statement. For example, Alex wants to be doctor after he finishes high school. Or city's police cars are painting white. We can see in both cases we had a statement. And at the end of the first one, we had a period. And at the end of the second one, we had a period. You need to keep in mind this, that we finish the sentences. And it is in a complete sentence in this case. Okay. We had a second way to use a period. The second way to use a period is that you should also use period at the end of sentences that are intended to instruct or command. And it is easy to identify. For example, when we are speaking about commands, are something like orders. we can see, for example, lock the door behind you, or rinse the dishes before putting them in the dishwasher. In both cases, we had a command. And I can give you different examples about it. For example, lock the windows behind you, or lock the dog behind you. And I gave you in a command. And you can see that always we put in a period after the command. Okay, we had a third way to use a period. I can show you. And in this case, I think that it is really easy. Okay, the third way to use a period is periods can also be used at the end of a sentence that contains indirect questions. It is interesting because you need to keep in mind that when it is a direct question, always we use a question mark. But when we are speaking about indirect question, it is really different because indirect questions are really interesting. I can show you some example. For example, I have something to ask you. I can tell you in indirect form that I want to ask you something. But you need to keep in mind that after an indirect question, you need to use a period in this case. Okay. The second is the coach asked Oscar why he was late for practice. It is an indirect question, if you can see, and we had a period. It is really interesting because we need to keep in mind that with direct question we had a question mark, and when indirect question we had a period at the end of the sentence. We can see that periods are to finish sentences and finish paragraph. It can be. Okay. Rules that you need to keep in mind if you want to learn very well how to use the period. Okay. The first one is use a period at the end of a complete sentence that is a statement. It is something like at the beginning. I am summarizing you because sometimes we need to refresh the information. Okay, I am show you. The first example about this rule is I know him very well. It is a statement. As you can see, we had a period at the end, and we can see it is easy because the use of period, in this case, it is finishing the sentence. With the second rule, we can say that if the last item in the sentence is an abbreviation that ends in a period, do not follow it with another period. It is a mistake that sometimes we can have because sometimes we don't know that we don't need to add in another period, but it is a mistake. You can see in this sentence. This is Alice Smith, MD, and we had two periods because we can see that in this case we had another period, but no, because it is the abbreviation, but the abbreviation have the period that finish the sentence, and you don't need to add in another period. As you can see in this case, I am showing you the correct way. That is, this is Alice Smith, MD. And we can see that the period that finish the abbreviation, it is finishes the sentences too. Okay, and we had the rule number 3. Question mark and an exclamation point. Replace and eliminate periods at the end of the sentence. Okay, it is a little bit clearer, I think. Okay, I hope that you can learn something about the use of period. You need to keep in mind that we use period at the end of the sentence. It can be in a command, it can be in a indirect question, it can be an abbreviation, and it is really easy to use the period. Even you can use the period to finish in a paragraph and start in a new paragraph. And remember that the period makes and finish in a complete sentence. Even it can be finished in a fragment sentence. And it doesn't matter because he is at the end. Okay, thank you so much.